Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today guys, we are here to dive into The Color Purple on 4K, one of the latest Warner Brothers 4K releases. This one came out towards the beginning of the month, and it has taken me a while to get to it to talk about, but I just got done watching it, and yeah, I want to do a review on this one because I rather enjoyed the film, and I've got some good things to say about it. So before we get into it though, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. I've got tons of reviews coming. We're going to talk about Face Off soon, JFK, and yeah, I'm going to get back to doing some reviews. It's going to be a full-on review overload in the next few days, so I hope you guys are here for it. So subscribe to the channel for more good to great physical media content. I would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, we're going to talk about all aspects of this release. This was, I'll go ahead and say this is my first time watch. I remember watching scenes of the movie on TV, probably on HBO or something when I was a kid, but I never really truly sat down to watch this. So this was a first time watch, I'll go ahead and say. So we're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the audio, visual quality of this Warner Brothers 4K presentation here today. We're going to talk about the special features, and we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing, just painting the overall picture. Is this 4K release worth picking up? I will say it is $23.49 right now currently on Amazon. I will link that down below in the description, which is a pretty good price, but if you want to use that link, it's an Amazon affiliate link, and you will be supporting the channel, and I would definitely appreciate that. But let's go ahead and get into the actual film. This came out the year I was born, in 1985. It's directed by Steven Spielberg, and I've got my E.T. shirt on because apparently the deciding factor of Alice Walker, the author of The Color Purple, in letting Steven Spielberg direct her novel was the fact that she watched E.T. and connected so much to the character of E.T. And she's like, look, if Steven Spielberg can make this alien, you know, just so endearing and relatable, he can do that with my characters as well. So I thought that that was pretty cool, that that was kind of the deciding factor of him, you know, directing this movie. And this, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is a great film. It really is a great film. It's a stunning film. It's a beautiful film. It is a story about human nature, about connections, emotional connections, life connections. And, you know, I really kind of loved this movie a lot. And I didn't expect that I would, because the first time that I tried to watch this, I got about a half hour in, and I was just like, this movie is so brutal. It's just too much. Like, there's just so much happening to this girl. And I just couldn't take it. I had to turn it off, and it was way too late, and I was tired, and I was like, I need to return to this in the right frame of mind and give it a chance. Now, luckily, when I returned to it, you did the flash forward, and Oprah came in, and Whoopi Goldberg came as the character of Celie, and the movie felt, it definitely was still hard to watch in some parts, but the movie felt a little bit lighter from that moment on, and there were some moments of levity where the characters were not getting brutalized every single second of the film, which is what the first half hour feels like to me. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and by the time, you know, there's some really, I'm not afraid to admit it, there's some really emotional moments in this movie, and this is how I know a movie is really great and that it really affects me and that I really enjoy it, is because when you get to these emotional moments where you're supposed to feel something and it's obvious that you're supposed to feel something, that's what the filmmaker wants you to do. I felt something, and I got all tingly, and I got tears in my eyes, and the movie worked for me. It was very effective, and the ending is great, and I love it. It's just a really great movie. And Whoopi Goldberg, I think this was her first film, and I didn't do the research I should have as to who got Academy Award nominations and who won and all that stuff, but I hope that she got some recognition for this role, because she was truly great in it. And I've loved Whoopi Goldberg since I was a kid. I love the Sister Act movies, and Eddie I was a big fan of when I was a kid as well. So it was cool to see her in her first role just get to shine on the level that she did, because this is her movie. Like, all, well, not the first half hour, like I said, but when you bring her character in, like, it is her movie throughout. But I also thought Oprah was really great. I don't know how many movies Oprah was in. I know she went on to become the big reality, or not reality, but talk show host and star, and everybody knows Oprah now. But but like she's great in this movie as well. I thought she was fantastic. I love the entire cast of the film. Danny Glover is a despicable piece of garbage in this film, and you really hate him, but he's also a great actor, and he does a great job in this film as well. And his character, I will say, like everybody in this film, there's some characters that feel like at a certain point in the movie that they're irredeemable. Like there's no possible way they could redeem this character, but every character has an arc. And I'm not going to say and spoil whether or not that's a redemption arc or not, but everybody has an arc in this film that is very satisfying for those particular characters. And I enjoyed that about the movie as well. It's not based on a true story. Like I said, it is based on a fictional work by author Alice Walker, which I watched the entire special feature in this. It's about a half hour long about her writing the book and the process that she went through, the criticism that she went through after the book came out, and then the process of adapting the film, from the book to the film, which I thought was insanely, interesting. So I'm glad that I loved this movie because I was afraid the first half hour and then I turned it off. I was like, I need to return to this later. I'm glad I did turn it off and I returned to it later when I was in the right frame of mind, because this is a heavy film and there's a lot of stuff that the movie's throwing at you in the first half hour and you have to be prepared for that. But if you can get through it, there's a really great story that's told and it has a very satisfying, uplifting ending that I quite enjoyed. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I want to say about the movie, but I did love it. It's a beautiful movie, and I feel like this is one I'll return to for sure at some point. And as for Steven Spielberg movies and his filmography, if I were doing a Steven Spielberg ranking, this one would probably rank pretty high because it is a terrific film. If I'm scoring it 4.5 to 5, like I'm kind of teetering on a perfect score. It is a great movie. I loved it a lot. So I was glad I was finally able to see it for the first time in 4K. Now, speaking of 4K, let's get into the 4K transfer. And I will say right now that this is a native 4K. It's got HDR10, no Dolby Vision with this, but I feel like truly, just because what type of movie this is and how it was shot and, was made by a brilliant filmmaker, Steven Spielberg, and just visually how this movie was shot and filmed and how it looks, I feel like this is the best work that Warner Brothers has done restoration-wise all year. This is the best 4K that they've done, and it comes at the very end of the year, and they've done some good ones. The Exorcist, I have some issues with, but overall it was a solid 4K. Enter the Dragon was a really solid 4K, but I feel like overall there is no criticism that I have of this 4K. This is damn near perfect, almost boutique quality right here. I felt like when I was watching this, that Arrow Video did it, that Vinegar Syndrome did it. It had a really nice grain structure. It felt filmic and like an actual film would. The HDR and what it does for the colors and the depth that it adds is just so freaking fantastic. There's so much. This movie is such a colorful, visually stunning film anyway. Some of those sequences where they're walking in the fields with all of the purple flowers and, just beyond that, the grass and the greenery and the scenery of the outside and the farm setting. It was just beautiful. This movie was stunning throughout. All the costumes, all the outfits, the colors of the dresses, the outfits that the men were wearing as well, the suits, the ties, everything. All of the colors of this film just look so magnificent and so beautiful in 4K. So I feel like this is not only one of the best restorations that I've seen this year, but this is definitely, in my opinion, the best work that Warner Brothers has done restoring one of their classic films all year. And I thought Maltese Falcon was fantastic. I thought Rebel Without a Cause was a really good transfer as well. But for my money, Rocky, they did a good job on at least the first Rocky was great. The sequels were okay. But as far as everything that I've seen out of Warner Brothers this year, and I've seen pretty much every single restoration that they've done, but for my money, this is the best. This is the most visually stunning work that they have done all year, maybe like the past 2 or 3 years, to be honest. This was fantastic. And I really feel like it's not just the work that was done, but just the overall direction and the cinematography and the overall quality of this movie is just lend itself so well to that 4K restoration. So if you're on the fence about upgrading this, you have the nice Blu-ray edition that came out back in 2011, the Digipack, or I think in 2012 they reissued it. I would say, and look, I haven't seen this movie on Blu-ray, but I would say this movie looks absolutely stunning, magnificent, fantastic in 4K. I cannot imagine the Blu-ray looks as good as this. There has to be a mile gap between the two of them. But this is a great transfer. It's a great restoration, and I highly recommend it. It looked beautiful. So getting into the sound, you got the DTS HD Master 5.1. The score in this film is beautiful. All the sounds are beautiful. There's some incredible moments where I know that the remake is a musical. I think the remake's a straight-on musical, which I do really want to see now. But there's definitely some musical elements to this movie. There's a lot of singing, a lot of fantastic musical moments in this film, and all of it sounded great with that 5.1. You could just hear it all around you. The big set piece, like musical moment at the end where everybody's going towards the church, and you got Suge, you know, singing and dancing, and just her voice was so beautiful, and it all sounded great with the 5.1. So no issues with the sound, other than it wasn't an upgrade. You know, maybe they could have upgraded to Atmos, but honestly, I don't know if this movie really needed an Atmos upgrade. I think the 5.1 is probably good enough. And getting into the special features here, I will say that I don't think that they've upgraded or done anything new special features wise since possibly DVD. Maybe these were added in the Blu-ray, but the special features were in SD, and Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, because they were in the special feature that I watched, looked kind of young. So I could see that being like a 2002, 2003 DVD special feature. I don't know exactly when the DVD came out, but I don't think that they've done anything new in terms of special features since the DVD era of this movie, because looking back at the Blu-ray, it had all the same special features. So, and they were all in SD. So, and there's no audio commentary either. I would love for there to be like an audio commentary with Spielberg on this movie. Maybe Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah. Like, that would be a killer commentary if they could get all three of those juggernauts together to do a commentary on this film, and the author as well. I will say though, even though there's not any new special features here, the special features that are included, the past ones, if you haven't seen them, they are great special features. You have conversations with the ancestors, the color purple from book to screen. That's the one that I watched in its entirety, and that is a great special feature with the author of the film, Alice Walker, and you got Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy. That was back when they cared about making special features, and you had everybody involved in the making of the film talking about it, and that's a great feature, and that's a very informative feature. You learn a lot about this film, you know, as it comes from the book to the actual, you know, film form, and some of the obstacles that went along with that. You also got a collaboration of spirits, casting and acting The Color Purple. You have Cultivating a Classic, The Making of The Color Purple, and you have The Color Purple, the musical, which actually talks about, you know, Steven Spielberg says in that, he's like, I try to get a little bit of musical elements in all of my drama films. So talking about the musical elements of the film, The Color Purple, and there's theatrical trailers and all that good stuff. So the special features here are really good. There's like 90 minutes worth of special features when you add them all together. It sucks when they don't do anything new. I just wish that they could have done, like, even if it was a new audio commentary with Spielberg or just somebody, maybe film historians talking about the film. If you couldn't get Spielberg, maybe you could have got Whoopi Goldberg or somebody to come back and do a commentary or an updated interview with somebody, even if it's only 5 minutes and it's on Skype. I just feel like you need to care a little bit more when you're restoring and doing special editions for these classic films. You know, give us something new here in terms of special features to sink our teeth into, because there's somebody out there, there's people out there that's watched all these before, and they probably watched them multiple times on the DVD, on the Blu-ray, and they may be great, but they don't want to watch them again. They want to watch some new special features, so give those people something new. But the special features on here are great, and I'm glad that they at least included them, because as we've seen in the past with Enter the Dragon, The Exorcist, they don't always include those past special features. You have to keep your Blu-ray, which, speaking of that, there is no Blu-ray in this. This is just the 4K edition. You know, Warner Brothers seems to be going straight towards, if they release a 4K, that's all that's in it, just the 4K, no Blu-ray. They do a Blu-ray, that's all that's in it, just the Blu-ray. So right here we have the 4K, we have the digital code as well in this. You got that gold banner at the top, nice little image of Whoopi Goldberg right there. Look, Warner Brothers have gotten a lot of criticism of their artwork, you know, in particular The Exorcist. I don't feel like there was a big hubbub over Enter the Dragon. That was a nice slipcover, but The Color Purple, I think, is a really nice image on the slipcover. I think the gold banner actually takes away from it. I wish that wasn't up there. Maybe if they would have made it purple or something. But the actual like image right here does say a lot about the film. And like I said, I love Whoopi Goldberg in the film. She is so good. And I think that just captures her character so perfectly. I do love the iconic poster though. That's a really good image as well. But nice image right there. You flip it to the back, you got some nice purple coloring and golds and some images from the film right there. You got all the specs and the all that good stuff, synopsis, special features. Take it out of the slipcover. You got the same image on the inside. And then on the back, you got everything's the same except for they added the casting list. Open it up, and like I said, you got the digital code. You got the disc right here, the purple disc, which actually has the image from the poster right there, the silhouette, which I actually think is pretty cool that they added that, because you don't always get disc art from the studios these days. So good on Warner Brothers for adding that. But overall, guys, look, for $23.49, I think this is a really great release by Warner Brothers. There's some extreme pros, the movie, the transfer, the sound, all that stuff is great. I think the packaging is really good, but the lack of special features is what brings it down a little bit for me. But for $23.49, that's a really good price for this 4K. And I think it's a beautiful 4K, and I think it's one of the best of the year. So I can absolutely recommend the color purple on 4K. I think you should add it to your collection. If you love film, if you love feel-good, uplifting movies like this, emotional, true stories, human stories, I think you will enjoy the color purple. So thank you all so much for watching this review of the color purple on 4K. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and comment down below, guys. What do you think of the movie? Are you gonna be picking this up? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and reviews, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.